Members of the House of Representatives, His Majesty's Commissioners.
E te whare pāre mata e tū nei, e ona rangatira katoa, kia tahuri mai o koutou tāringa. Members of the House of Representatives, Her Excellency the Governor-General, not thinking fit to be present here in person, has caused letters patent to be passed under the seal of New Zealand, appointing me and my fellow commissioners to open this Parliament of New Zealand. This is more fully set out in the letters patent, which I ask that the Clerk of the House now read.
Charles III, by grace of God, King of New Zealand and his other realms and territories, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith. To all those to whom these presents shall come, greeting. Whereas by a proclamation made on the 27th day of November 2023, our Governor-General of New Zealand, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiro, GNZM QSO, proclaimed that the Parliament of New Zealand should meet in the parliamentary precincts in the City of Wellington at 11 a.m. on the 5th day of December 2023, and whereas our said Governor-General does not think fit to be present at the opening of the said session, know now that we, trusting in the discretion, fidelity and care of our right trusty and well-beloved councillor, the Right Honourable Dame Helen Diana Winkelman, Dame Grand Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, and our trusty and well-beloved, the Honourable Mark Leslie Smith Cooper and the Honourable Susan Elizabeth Thomas, do by these presents give and grant unto them, or any two of them, full power in our name to open the said Parliament in our behalf and do all the things necessary to be done in our name or in the name of our Governor-General of New Zealand in and about the opening of the said Parliament, commanding also all whom it concerns to meet in the said Parliament, and that the said, the Right Honourable Dame Helen Diana Winkelman, the Honourable Mark Leslie Smith Cooper and the Honourable Susan Elizabeth Thomas, or any two of them, diligently attend in the premises at the opening of the said Parliament. In testimony whereof, we have caused these, our letters, to be made patent and issued under the seal of New Zealand at Wellington on the 27th day of November in the year of our Lord 2023 and in the second year of our reign. Witness our trusty and well-beloved, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiro, Chancellor and Dame Grand Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Principal Companion of our Service Order, Governor-General and Commander-in-Chief in and over the realm of New Zealand. Christopher Luxon, by Her Excellency's command.
Cindy Kiro, Governor-General, a proclamation. Whereas by proclamation published on 8 September 2023, the Parliament of New Zealand was summoned to meet on 21 December 2023. And whereas I have thought fit to summon it to meet on an earlier day, now therefore, pursuant to Section 18 of the Constitution Act 1986, I, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiro, Governor-General of New Zealand, summon the Parliament of New Zealand to meet in the parliamentary precincts in the City of Wellington at 11 a.m. on 5 December 2023, given under the hand of Her Excellency the Governor-General and issued under the seal of New Zealand on 27 November 2023, Christopher Luxon, Prime Minister. God save the King. I ngā rangatira o te whare e tū nei. Members of the House of Representatives, we have it in command from Her Excellency the Governor-General to inform you that on 6 December 2023, at 10:30 a.m, Her Excellency the Governor-General will declare to you in person the cause of her summoning this Parliament to meet. But since it is necessary that a Speaker of the House of Representatives be first chosen, Her Excellency requests that you, Members of Parliament, now proceed to choose one of your members to fill that high and important office, and that having chosen that person, you present that person at 1:45 p.m. today, 5 December 2023, at Government House at Wellington for Her Excellency's confirmation. E te whare, koinei te kupu a te kāwana, turu o whiti whakamaua kia tina. Haumi e, hui e, tae ke.
Honourable members, I will now read the commission authorising me to administer the oath or affirmation of allegiance required by law to be taken or made by members. In accordance with Section 11 of the Constitution Act 1986, I, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiro, Governor-General of New Zealand, authorise you, David Martin Wilson, Clerk of the House of Representatives, to administer to members of Parliament the oath or affirmation of allegiance to His Majesty the King, required to be taken or made by every such member before that member shall be permitted to sit or vote in the House of Representatives. Christopher Luxon, Prime Minister, authorised Cindy Kiro, Governor-General, 27th of November 2023. Honourable members, I've received from the Electoral Commission a writ endorsed with the names of those members elected to represent electoral districts and a return listing the names of the members elected from party lists. I lay those documents on the table. I'll now call each member in alphabetical order to come to the left of the table and make the oath or take the affirmation of allegiance. After taking the oath or making the affirmation, would members please take their parchment and go around the Hansard table to the right to the clerk to sign your parchment with a pen provided. Stephen George Bremner Abel.
Ko ahau ko Stephen George Bremner Abel, e oti ana ka noho pumau taku pono kia kingi tiare ti tuatoru mi tonu kāhui whakaheke I ai ki te ture ko te atua nei hoki taku po.
Do you declare this oath to be binding on you?
I do.
Thank you. Affirmation. Virginia Ruby Anderson.
Ko ahau, ko Virginia Ruby Anderson, e ki ana I runga e te pono, e te tika, e te ngākau tapatahi, me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, ki a kingi te are, te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Miles John Anderson.
I, Miles John Anderson, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to the law, so help me God.
Jamie Arthur Arbuckle.
I, Jamie Arthur Arbuckle, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Carl Michael Bates.
I, Carl Michael Bates, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Andrew Henry Bailey.
I, Andrew Henry Bailey, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Daniel Michael Bidwar.
I, Daniel Michael Bidwar, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Christopher John Stewart Bishop.
I, Christopher John Stewart Bishop, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Rachel Elizabeth Boyack Mayer.
Ko ahau, ko Rachel Elizabeth Boyack Mayer. E o ati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono, kia kingi te are te tuatoru, me tōna kāhue whakaheke e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Cameron Eric Brewer.
I, Cameron Eric Brewer, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Rachel Brooking. No, it wasn't on.
I, Rachel Brooking, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Simeon Peter Brown.
I, Simeon Peter Brown, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Jared Anthony Brownlee.
I, Jared Anthony Brownlee, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God.
Michael Butterick.
I, Michael Butterick, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Mark Stewart Cameron.
I, Mark Stewart Cameron, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Hamish George Campbell.
I, Hamish George Campbell, solemnly and sincerely truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Kahurangi Carter.
Ko aho ko Kahurangi Carter, e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika I te ngākau tapatahi. Me te whakau anō, ka noho perihonga, ka noho pūmau, ki te kingi tiare, te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Chun Ho Carlos Chung.
I, John Ho Carlos Chung, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and his successor, according to law. So help me God. 本人 John Ho Carlos Chung 謹此宣誓，將依法竭誠效忠查理斯三世國王殿下，以及其繼承人和繼任者。願主佑我。
Karen Louise Chaw.
I ki ana I rongo I te pono, I te tika, I te nākau tapatahi. Me te whakau anō, ko noho pirihanga, ka noho pūmau, kia kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tono ka hui whakiiki, I ai ki te turi.
Whaanana Efeso Collins.
Ko ahau ko whanana Efeso Collins. E o ati ana ko noho pūmau taku pono ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki a te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau. O au whanana Efeso Collins, o te tautino atu lau lango ma lau tautua whamaoni, e le tupo sa lesa le tolu, a toa mo na suli, mai lātou uma o filifilia I lalo le tula fono e whaataunu uina o na tiute le ali ia Efeso asani mai ia te au.
Cassandra Jane Costello.
I, Cassandra Jane Costello, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to the law, so help me God.
Timothy John Costley.
I, Timothy John Costley, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
Simon Thomas Court.
I, Simon Thomas Court, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Reuben John Davidson.
Ko ahau, ko Reuben John Davidson, e oate ana ka noho pūmau taku pono, ki ang hingi tiare te tuatoro, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture ko te atua nei hoki taku pō.
Do you declare this oath to be binding on you?
I do.
Marama Miriana Davidson.
Ko ahau, ko Marama Miriana Davidson,
E ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi, me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau kia kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Matthew Morris Ducey.
I, Matthew Morris Ducey, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Barbara Rachel Fati Palipa Edmonds.
Ko ahau, ko Barbara Rachel Fati Palipa Edmonds. E o ati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau. O au Barbara Rachel Fati Palipa Edmonds, au te tautoa atu lau lango ma le tautua whaamaoni I le tupo o sa lesa le tolu. A toa ma ona suli mai lotu lātau uma o a whiriwhiria I lalo o le tulafono e whaatau nuu ina auna tō tiute. Ia whea sosoani mai le atua ia te ao.
Takuta Ferris.
Ko Takuta Ferris. E oa te ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki a tātou mokopuna e ai ki te tikanga Māori. Ka kawea hau I oku mahi, me oku herenga, me te whakamahi hoki I tōku mana, e ai ki te tiriti o Waitangi. I, Takuta Ferris, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to our mokopuna, according to tikanga Māori. I will perform my functions and duties and exercise my powers in accordance with te tiriti o Waitangi. Ko ahau, ko Takuta Ferris, e ki ana, I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi. Me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, ki kingi, hare hare, te tuatoru. Me ona kāhui, whakaheke iho, e ai ki te ture.
Gregory Ray Fleming.
Ko ahau, ko Gregory Ray Fleming. E o ati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono, ki a kingi tiari te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture. Ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Andrew Foster.
I,
Andrew Foster, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God.
Paulo Reis Garcia.
I, Paulo Reyes Garcia, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. Ako si Paulo Reyes Garcia, ay sumusumpa na ako ay magiging tapat at mag-aalay ng tunay na katapatan sa kanyang kamahalan kay King Charles III, sa kanyang mga tagapagpamana at kahalili, alinsunod sa batas. Tulungan nawa ako ng Diyos.
Julianne Ginter.
Ko ahau, ko Julianne Ginter. E ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te nā kau tapatahi. Me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihanga, ka noho pumo ki a kingi, tiare ti tuatoru. Me tona kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture.
Golriz Garaman.
Ko ahau, ko Golriz Garaman, e kia ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te nā kau tapatahi, me te whākau anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pumo, kia kingi, tiara, te toru, me tona kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture.
Paul Jonathan Goldsmith.
I, Paul Jonathan Goldsmith, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God.
Nicola Anna Grigg.
I, Nicola Anna Grigg, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Ryan Alexander Hamilton.
I, Ryan Alexander Hamilton, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Pieni Iriatara Gladwin Hinare.
Kua hau ko pēni re ārtara Gladwin Henare e wāti ana ka noho pūmau taku pono kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Christopher John Hipkins.
I, Christopher John Hipkins, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I'll be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Andrew John Hoggard.
I, Andrew John Hoggard, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
William Wakatere Jackson.
Ko hau ko William Wakatere Jackson e oti ana ka noho pūmau takapono kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tona kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture ko te atua nei hoki taku pai. Kia ora.
Shane Jeffrey Jones.
Ako ko Shane Jeffrey Jones e oti ana ka noho pūmau taku pono kia kingi tiare te tuatoru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture. Ko te atua nei hoki taku pou.
Maria Meno Kapa Kingi.
Ko Maria Meno Kapa Kingi tōku ingoa e wati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki a tātou mokopuna e ai ki te tikanga Māori. Ka kawe ahau i oku mahi e oku herenga. E te haka mahi hoki i tōku mana e ai ki te hakaputanga e ai ki te titi o Waitangi. Tēnā tātou. Ko hau, ko Maria Meno Kapa Kingi. E ki ana i rungi te pono, i te tika, i te ngākau tapatahi, e hakau anō ka noho pirihonga, ki noho pūmau kia kingi tāre, te tuatoru, e tōna kāhui hakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Takutai Tash Kemp.
Kua hau ko taku taimoana Natasha Kemp. I oti ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki a tātou mokopuna. E ai ki te tikanga Māori. Ka kawe ahau i oku mahi, me oku heringa, me te whakamahi hoki i tōku mana. E ai ki te tiriti o Waitangi. Toitu te tiriti. Kua hau ko taku taimoana, Tash Kemp, I oti ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki te kingi tiari, te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Do you declare this oath to be binding on you?
Aye.
Affirmation. Dana Margot Kirkpatrick.
I, Dana Margot Kirkpatrick, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Barbara Joan Kuriga.
I, Barbara Joan Kuriga, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Ingrid Leary.
Ko ahau, ko Ingrid Leary, e oati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture. Ko te atua ne hoki taku pau. O iau o Ingrid Leary, Sambumbu Lui Taka, Niau sa Yalondina, ka tōkana tikonga, nā tui wakatoranga o Charles Naika Tulu, o ira nā nonokawa ki nei sosomi, me wakana lawa, monivu kei iau, nā kalo.
Melissa Lee.
I, Melissa Lee, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. 본인 멜리사 이지연은 법에 따라 찰스 3세 국왕폐하와 그의 후계자 및 왕위 계승자에게 진심으로 충성을 다할 것을 선서하며 신의 이름으로 맹세합니다.
Christopher Luxon.
I, Christopher Luxon, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Cameron Gibb Luxton.
I, Cameron Gibb Luxton, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God.
Joanne Marie Luxton.
Ko ahau, ko Joanne Marie Luxton, e ki ana e runga i te pono, e te tika, e te nākau tapatahi me te whakau anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture.
Huhana Linden.
Ko hau, ko Huana Linden, e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi. Me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
David Nigel McLeod.
I, David Nigel MacLeod, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will faithfully and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Hana Rāwhiti Maipi Clark.
Ko ahau, ko hana rāwhiti kareari ki Maipi Clark, e oati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono kia tātou mokopuna, e ai ki te tikanga Māori, ka kaue ahau i oku mahi me oku herenga, me te whakamahi hoki i tōku mana, e ai ki te tiriti o Waitangi, me kingi tūheitia po tatau te whirowhiro te tuawhitu. E oati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono, ko ahau, ko hana rāwhiti Maipi Clark, e oati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono, kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture. Ko taku atua nei hoki taku pau.
Jennifer Lynn Marcroft.
I, Jennifer Lynn Marcroft, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Kieran Michael McAnulty.
I, Kieran Michael McAnulty, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Grant Lewis McCallum.
I, Grant Lewis McCallum, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Todd Michael McLay.
I, Todd Michael McLay, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Nicole Reimer McKee.
I, Nicole Reimer McKee, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
James Rawiri Meager.
I, James Rawiri Meager, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Ricardo Menendez March.
I, Ricardo Menendez March, solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Mark Mitchell.
I, Mark Mitchell, swear that I'll be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. Thank you.
Joseph Mooney.
I, Joseph Mooney, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Rima Gillian Narkley.
I, Rima Gillian Narkley, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. أنا ريما جيليان نخلة أقسم على الإخلاص والولاء الصادق لصاحب الجلالة الملك تشارلز الثالث ولورثته وخلفائه وفقا للقانون والله المستعان.
Debbie Ann Narewa Packer.
Tēnā tātou e te whare. Kua hau he oati ana kanoho pumau taku pono ki a tātou mokopuna. E ai ki te tikanga Māori. Ka kawea hau I oku mahi me oku herenga, me te wakamahi hoki I a tuku mana, e ai ki te tiriti o Waitangi. I swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to our mokopuna. According to tikanga Māori, I will perform my duties and functions and exercise my powers in accordance with te tiriti o Waitangi. E ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi me te ngā wakahau anō. Ka noho pirihunga, ka noho pūmau ki a kingi harihari te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui waka eke e ai ki te ture.
Katrina Margaret Nimmin.
I, Katrina Margaret Nimmin,
swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Damien O'Connor.
I, Damien O'Connor, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Gregory Eamon O'Connor.
I, Gregory Eamon O'Connor, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Kushmita Parmjeet Kaur Parmar.
I, Kushmita Paramjit Kaur Parmar, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Mark Patterson.
I, Mark Patterson, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Tamitha K. Erin Paul.
Ko hau, ko Tamitha Paul, e ki ana I runga I te pono, e te tika, e te ngākau tapatahi me te whakau anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, kia kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture.
Christopher Aidan Pink.
I, Christopher Aidan Pink, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Winston Peters.
I, Winston Peters, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Noklan Tifam.
Ko ahau, ko Noklan Tifam, e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi, me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, kia kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture. Toi Noklan Tifam, La Chong Chantan, Va Tuk Shur Duembo, Va Kangden, Rang Toi, si trung tan, va tat shur trung tan, vui duk vua Charles de Tam, nhung nhoi tua ke, va ke nim kua nhai, teo kui din kua fak luat. Kia ora.
Tama William Potaka.
Kua hau, ko Tama William Potaka. E oati ana ka noho pūmau takupono kia kingi te are te tua toru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Willow Jean Prime.
Kua hau, ko Willow Jean Prime, e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi, me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, kia kingi te are te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaeke e ai ki te ture.
Maureen Helena Pugh.
I, Maureen Helena Pugh, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Priyanka Radhakrishnan.
I, Priyanka Radhakrishnan, solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Susan Emma Dossa Redmayne.
I, Susan Emma Dossa Redmayne, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Shane Raymond Retty.
I, Shane Raymond Retty, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Grant Murray Robertson.
I, Grant Murray Robertson, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Adrian Paki Rurafe.
Ko hau, ko Adrian Paki Rurafe, e wāti ana hau ka noho pūmau taku pono kia kengi te are, te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaeke e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Deborah Faye Russell.
I, Deborah Faye Russell, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. Thank you.
Tom Rutherford.
I, Tom Rutherford, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Jennifer Solisa.
I, Jennifer Salisa, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. Ko au Jenny Salisa o ko whakapapau te wangatonu mo taliangi mo oni ke ene awhio tu I Salisi hono tolu mo hono ngahi ea mo I tuk whakaholo o whakatatau ki he lao o whanua ke whaitoko nia mai au e he otua.
Carmel Jean Cepoloni.
Kua hau ko Carmel Jean Cepoloni, e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi me te whakāu anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, kia kingi tiare te tua toru. Me tōna kāhui whakaeke, e ai ki te ture.
David Breen Seymour.
I, David Breen Seymour, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Penelope Elsie Simmons.
Thank you. I, Penelope Elsie Simmons, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Scott Simpson.
I, Scott Simpson, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs, successors, according to law, so help me God.
Stuart Taylor Smith.
I, Stuart Taylor Smith, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Lemoanga Lydia Sosine.
Ko a hau, ko le maunga liria so sene, e oati ana ka noho pū mau taku pono, ki a kingi tiare te tua toru, me tōna ka hui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pou. O au le maunga liria so sene, o te tauto atu lau lango, ma le tautua wha amaoni, I le tupu o sa lesa le tolu,
Atoa mo na suli, ma I lātou uma ua filifilia I lalo o le tūlā whono, e whātaunu uina o na tiote, ia whesosoani mai le atua ia te au.
Erica Stanford.
I, Erica Stanford, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Todd Michael Stevenson.
I, Todd Michael Stevenson, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Chloe Charlotte Swarbrick.
Ko ahau ko Chloe Charlotte Swarbrick I ke ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te nākau tapatahi. Me te whākau anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho paumau ki a kingi tiare e te tua toru. Me te tonu kāhui whakaheke e ai kia te ture.
Darlene Tanner.
Ko ahau, ko Darlene Tana. E ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi me te whakau anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture. Jij, Darlene Tana. Ik klaar op bekräfte heute oprechtheid of sant, at jeg vil være trofast og bære ægte troskab mod Hans Majestet, Kong Charles den 3., hans arvinger og efterfølger I henhold til loven.
Kushla Tangaire Manuel.
Ko ahau, ko Kushla Tangaire Manuel, e oati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tōna kāhui whakaheke e ai ki te ture. Ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Jeanette Tinetti.
Ko ahau, ko Jeanette Tinetti, e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi me te whakau anō. Ka noho pirihanga, ka noho pūmau, ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Reno Turakatane.
Ko hau, ko Reno Turakatane, e wati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki a kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture, ko te atua nei hoki taku pau.
Laura Barbara Trask.
I, Laura Barbara Truss, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Te ano tuiono.
Ko hau ko te ara tuiono e ki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te nākau tapatahi, me te whakaua no, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, kia kingi tiare te tuatoru, me tōna kāhui whakaheke I ai ki te ture.
Samuel Julian Uffendale.
I, Samuel Julian Uffendale, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Tanya Marie Unkovic.
I, Tanya Marie Unkovic, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Louise Upston.
I, Louise Upston, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Tangi William Edward Utikere.
Ko ahau, ko Tangi William Edward Utikere, iki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi me te whākau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tōna kāhui whakaheke I ai ki te turi.
Timothy John van der Molen.
I, Timothy John van der Molen, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
Brooke van Velden.
I, Brooke van Velden, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Aisha Viril.
Ko ahau, ko Aisha Viril, iki ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, e te nīkau, tapatahi me te whaka anō. Ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau kia tingi tiare te tua toru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Rawiri Waititi.
Ko ahau, ko Rawiri Waititi, e wāti ana ka noho pūmau taku pono ki a tātou mokopuna. E ai ki te tikanga Māori. Ka kawai ahau I oku mahi me oku herenga. Me te whakamai hoki I tōku mana e ai ki te tiriti o Waitangi. Ai, Rawiri Waititi swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to our mokopuna, according to tikanga Māori. I will perform my functions and duties and exercise my powers in accordance with Te Tiriti o Waitanga. Toi tū Te Tiriti. Kua hau, ko rāwiri Waititi, e kia ana I runga I te pono, I te tika, I te ngākau tapatahi. Me te whakau anō, ka noho pirihonga, ka noho pūmau, kia kiingi hare hare, te tuatoru. Me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Simon Glenn Watts.
I, Simon Glenn Watts, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Duncan Webb.
I, Duncan Webb, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law.
Catherine Wedd.
I, Catherine Wedd, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Vanessa Wiening.
I, Vanessa Wiening, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
Helen White.
Ko hau, ko Helen White, e kiana, e runga, e te pono, e te tika, e te nā kou tapataki, me te whākou anō. Ka noho pirahanga, ka noho pūmo, ki a kingi tiare, te tuatoro, me tōna kāhui whakaheke, e ai ki te ture.
Arena Williams.
Ko ahau, ko Arena Williams, e o ati ana ka noho pūmau taku pono kia kingi tiare te tuatoru me tōna kāhui whakaeke, e ai ki te ture. Ko te atua nei hoki taku pou.
Scott Matthew Willis.
I, Scott Matthew Willis, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true witness allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Nicola Willis.
I, Nicola Willis, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Megan Cherie Woods.
I, Megan Cherie Woods, solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Honourable members, the House must now choose a Speaker. Are there nominations?
Mr Clerk.
Scott Simpson.
Mr McCark, I nominate the Honourable Jerry Brownlee for the office of Speaker.
Is there a seconder?
Mr Clerk, I second the nomination of the Honourable Jerry Brownlee in the office of Speaker.
Are there any further nominations?
Mr Clerk,
Debbie Ngāre Wapaka.
we nominate Adrian Paki Rudawhi.
Does the member accept the nomination?
No, he doesn't. Thank you.
Because the member won't accept the nomination, I can't accept it.
What a pity.
Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, I declare the Honourable Jerry Brownlee elected Speaker.
Well, what a surprise. Can I offer my thanks to the members of the House who have shown this confidence in me today, and to affirm with the House that I see the role very much as protection of members' rights to speak freely in this House and to go about their business across the country unimpeded. I want to acknowledge the 7 speakers that I've served under in my time in the Parliament. Many of them at some point or another have come under some opprobrium from parts of the House, quite often from me. And I think that that is unfortunately the lot of a speaker, but I'll do my best to be fair and even across the House. I want to acknowledge my immediate predecessor, the Right Honourable Adrian Ruafei. Adrian brought a calm and a dignity to this House at a time that was needed, and I know that many members who are here today very much appreciate that. And I'm grateful that in our discussions leading to today, you've offered your good counsel any time I should need it, and there's no doubt there will be those times. Look, I just want to give some indication of how I might work. Firstly, can I say that our standing orders really are just a guide for how this House works. They're important and they give us a framework but they're not absolute. When I first came to this House, I sat through the address and reply debate where the party leaders were all speaking, one after the other, after the two very good maiden speeches from the movers and seconders. One of those speakers, as it happens, is here today and will probably be speaking tomorrow, I suspect. But that was, to say the least, a ferocious debate for someone sitting for the first time in Parliament down the back of the House. And after it was over, Doug Kidd, the Right Honourable Doug Kidd, who was a very good speaker, said to me, "So what did you think of that?" And I said, "Well, Doug, I don't know how I would ever manage to compete and participate in that environment." And his advice was simply osmosis. Be here, learn from the environment, don't get too hung up on the rules, recognise that it is a free flow of debate and participate in it reasonably whenever you can, but above all else, learn. Advice offered today by some new members, from the Prime Minister, in fact. And so I would offer that advice to all new members who are in the House today. I just want to congratulate those new members as well as returning members, but the new members, but also recognise from the Chair the huge amount of work that's gone in by the volunteers that will have helped you and supported you in getting to this place. That is a big part of our participatory democracy, and we can't forget about it when we sit in this House. Finally, I want to acknowledge my family who are here today. Without their forbearance, just like the rest of you, I would not be here and not able to do this job. I also want to take the unusual step of acknowledging my good friend Roger Bridge, without whose counsel and advice over many years I would also not be in this position. So can I, with those remarks, thank the House for their confidence and express the wish that we all might get on a little bit better than I got on with some of the speakers who have gone before me. I suppose in that regard I should also acknowledge my biggest challenge will probably be keeping myself in order.
Mr Speaker-elect, we are constantly reminded by speakers in this House not to bring you into our debates, but this one is actually going to be all about you. You have made the significant decision to serve this House and our country as Speaker, and I think that both will be better off because of that decision and your commitment. Thank you for stepping up and thank you for serving New Zealand in this unique way. I actually met you when you were Minister of Transport, and we hit it off once we had established that we had both started off life at Loreto College in Windermere Road, Christchurch. And I have to say, from choir boy to Speaker, Mr Speaker-elect, the Sisters of Mercy would be incredibly proud of you, very proud of you indeed. You're known to us in the National Party as the father of the House, paternal but not paternalistic, knowledgeable but not a know-it-all. Your deep knowledge and your wide experience has been well earned since you were first elected in 1996. And this is in fact your 10th consecutive Parliament, resulting in 27 years of unbroken service. And that is quite simply a remarkable political career. In that time, you've been a senior minister in the 5th National Government, you've held a large range of portfolios in opposition and in government, you've been Leader of the House and you've been Deputy Leader of the National Party. You have enormous knowledge about and respect for this institution, a genuine personal mana, and I know that you are going to uphold the dignity of this place and be a fair adjudicator of our proceedings. Finally, I want to acknowledge that alongside your commitment to our New Zealand Parliament, you are deeply dedicated to your family, and I do want to acknowledge your wife Michelle and your 3 children, and I know that you are incredibly proud of them and grateful for all the support that they give you, and I know that likewise they are immensely proud of you and all that you have achieved and contributed as well. For the service that you're about to give, I thank you and I wish you well. Mr Speaker-elect, on behalf of the government, congratulations and good luck.
Mr Speaker-elect, on behalf of the opposition, can I also add our congratulations to your elevation to this role and take the opportunity to congratulate all members who have been sworn into Parliament today. Regardless of where in this chamber you sit, it's an enormous privilege and an enormous responsibility to be a member of Parliament. And I know that it is one that every member who has taken the oath today will take very seriously. It's the 6th time that I've been sworn in as a Member of Parliament, but I can honestly say every time still feels like a special occasion. There are very few people who get to have the initials MP after their name at some point during their working lives, and so everybody should take a moment to reflect on that. There are even fewer people, Mr Speaker-elect, who get to master the art of being a true parliamentarian. And in fact, you are one of those. You are someone who understands the culture of the House, you understand the rules of the House, you understand the importance of what goes on here in a way that very few people actually get to understand. And I think that marks you out as being a very appropriate person for the government to have nominated to be the Speaker of the House. Mr. Speaker-elect, there was once a tradition where the Speaker-elect would be dragged to the chair after being elected. I think that was dispatched with by Jonathan Hunt, where the party whips then couldn't keep up with him as he galloped his way to the Speaker's chair. But I'm pleased to see you at least made the pretence of trying to keep up the tradition. You have been a Member of Parliament since 1996. You've served in a vast number of roles, including ones that are near and dear to my heart, including Party Whip and Leader of the House. Two very important and underrated roles, in my view. You've served as Deputy Leader of the National Party, not once but twice. And you've been a Minister in the key government where you held, I think at last count, 11 different portfolios. You supported the people of Christchurch through some of their darkest and most challenging hours. And I think that that also marks you up well for this role, because you are familiar with holding a position in which no matter what decision you make, someone is going to be upset at the outcome of that. Because I think those who preside over natural disasters like the one in Christchurch will know that there are very few easy choices in that role, and you, I think, led over a long period of time the country through that, and we thank you for that service. One of the most important roles of the Speaker is to protect the rights of the minority, and we find ourselves now in the minority in this House. You have a role to ensure that the government can govern, and you have a role to ensure that the opposition can hold the government to account in the decisions that they are taking. And I know that you will take both of those responsibilities incredibly seriously, and we look forward to working with you in good humour, as you have previously demonstrated as you embark on this new role. So on behalf of the opposition, once again, our warmest congratulations.
Thank you.
Just want to congratulate you, Mr. Speaker-elect, for the active service that you have undertaken, and the Green Party wants to acknowledge that your role is one of service to ensure that we can perform our role. Others have acknowledged your experience, and we want to join in acknowledging the wealth of experience you will bring into the role. In your acknowledgements to the predecessors, the Green Party wants to reiterate our commitment to work alongside you to ensure that this Parliament is a family-inclusive Parliament, that we protect our staff and treasure the work that they do, that this Parliament remains accessible, and that we honour our duty or care that we have to each other and in the discourse. And the Green Party extends our offer to work collaboratively with you to ensure that all of these things come to fruition.
Speaker-elect, I'd like to start by congratulating you on your ascension to the Speaker's chair after a long and winding road, a career that actually spans across 2 centuries. As a Member of Parliament for Ilam, as a parliamentarian and as a minister, I think the experience that you bring will prepare you very well to preside over this institution that has evolved over hundreds of years, and I'm sure that you will add your own adaptations and evolutions to as well. I was interested to hear you say that the standing orders are important but not everything. In a trivial sense, that is true. But I can tell you about another experience of being for 2 terms, 6 years, the sole representative of a political party in this House. And I can tell you that the ability of any member to be able to appeal to you to uphold the rules is sometimes the only protection that this Parliament and ultimately our democracy has, and I would urge you to take the upholding of those standing orders as perhaps the most important thing you ultimately do. Our Parliament, like all parliaments, also faces some challenges. For example, we have an organisation that you will be responsible for that has a relentless push for as long as I've been in Parliament, and I suspect even as long as you have been, to turn MPs into corporate employees with their own HR department, rules and conflict resolutions in a deadening and frankly unparliamentary way. I hope that you in your role as standing up for the rights of MPs won't only protect our ability to speak freely in this House and move about New Zealand while doing our business, but also respect the unique role that members of Parliament have, not as employees of the parliamentary service, but as employees of the people of Epsom and Tamaki and Taupo and all of New Zealanders who have just chosen their representatives in this House. And finally, Mr. Speaker, while this institution is an extraordinary expression of hundreds of years of the evolution of democracy, an institution that has worked better to allow people to flourish in self-chosen ways up and down our country than perhaps any other institution imaginable, there will be those who come here not to participate in the institution but attempt to make a theatrical point by undermining it. That may be the greatest challenge that you face. You acknowledged, I think, how your predecessor faced it, and I can tell you on behalf of ACT MPs, and I suspect many more, that you will have our full support in upholding the calm, the dignity and the traditions of this House that have been so effective in allowing New Zealanders from all walks of life to flourish better than any others have in humanity's history. Mr. Speaker, with that, you have our full support and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, it is with trepidation that I begin this speech. Of all things, to congratulate you for the post you've taken and knowing full well that you're qualified to do the job as a Parliament's person. And you're right when you say that your job is to protect the minority in a democracy, and we're only one of 9 for the last 100 and so years from 1854, which makes us a special country, and we should be preserving it to the max as we can. And this statement is to give you the support of New Zealand's first and its MPs in doing your job. Strange enough, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I've really got a lot of confidence in your ability to address people with what is a comment that is eminently fair. And when people know things are fair, they will behave themselves. It's a critical facet of the job that you've got, and I think that you've got what it takes to do it, and it's not here to ingratiate myself with you solely in the piece, but because it happens to be, in this case, true. So all the very best. And again, to my colleagues here, we're enormously lucky to be in a place where in the history of humanity it is a very rare flower of governance, and it's special, and we should do all we can alongside you, Mr. Speaker, to preserve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker. Tēnā tātou i te whare, tēnā koe te pika. Ka te ake, tuatahi, kai te miha tira ki te māngai. Ka tahi anō ko wehi tērā tūru ki a koe, Adrian, ngā mihi nui ki a koe. I hautu nei tērā tua huatanga, me whakawātea koe i teo tūrura, ke whakatūngia ko te pika hau. Te Pāti Māori offers our congratulations to you, Mr. Speaker, on your new role. I apologise for my colleague and co-leader of Te Pāti Māori. I didn't know she was going to do that. It's not very good for relations at the start of the year. But just to say, you and I have had a good relationship over the last few years. I hope to maintain that, Mr. Speaker, because my first experience of a speaker here had me kicked out several times. The last speaker had me suspended. I'm looking forward to seeing what you and I can achieve together heading into the next 3 years. But I agree, you've got a big job ahead of you. We look forward to the next 3 years. We look forward to the way you run the House. We have been really proud of the fact that we've been able to hear more te reo Māori in the House. We've been proud to be able to hear more waiata in the House and to hear a wairua Māori in this House. And we will continue to do that, and we hope that with your support, Mr. Speaker, that you will allow tangata whenua to freely express themselves in our cultural identity here in Aotearoa. Nō reira, ngā mihi nui ki a koe, ngā mihi nui ki a koutou e te whare, tēnā tātou katoa.
And I thank those who have spoken for the expressions on behalf of parties and themselves. I've taken on board, I've listened to the advice, not necessarily taken it all on board, and I think that's a pretty good start. I'm sure that there are plenty in here who want to give me more advice as time goes on. My door will always be open to all members of Parliament. The House now stands adjourned until 10:30 a.m. Wednesday, 6th of December 2023.
He pokina maha te kahu I whatungia ki te tika I whenungia ki te pono kia ora e te whare pāre matoa o te aroa nei
Ko te amorangi ki mua ko te hāpai o ki mui. Kia tawi hōna mana ki tanga ki runga ki tēnā o tā. Kia whai kroria ki a koe I hoa ngā mano, tua uri uri whai oi. Ki tonu te rangi me te whenua I tau kroria nui, matua, tama, wairua tapu me ngānera pono me te māngai hei tautoko mai, ae nei, ake nei, ānai.
Please be seated.
Following Your Excellency's request, the House of Representatives has selected me as Speaker, and I now present myself for Your Excellency's confirmation. Ka oti I te whare mangai, te kōwhiri I a hau. I mana waka wā, e ai ki tau tono, e te hiranga. I tānei au te tātou mai, ke konei. He waka mātanga, māo, mā te hiringa.
Mr. Speaker, it is with much pleasure that I confirm the choice by the House of Representatives of you as its Speaker. I congratulate you on your election to this distinguished office, marking as it does the appreciation of the House of Representatives of your impartiality and ability. E te mana whakawā, e kūnui te hokoa o taku ngākau, ki te whakamana I te kōwhiringa a te whare māngai, I a koe hei mana whakawā mōna. Tēnei au te mihi nei ki a koe, I te kōpaua ki te tūranga rangatira nei. He tohu o whakamanawatanga a te whare māngai I tō ngākau, tapatahi I tō pūmanawa nui.
I thank Your Excellency for your Thank you. Well, I'll now thank Your Excellency for your confirmation of the choice made by the House of Representatives of me to be its Speaker. Tēnei au te mihi nei, ki tauhiranga, mau wakamana, e te kōwhirina a te whare mangai, I a hau, he mana waka wā mona.
Oh, I think there might be a bit that you have to say.
I now, on behalf of the House, lay claim to all its privileges, and especially to the freedom of speech and debate, to free access to Your Excellency whenever occasion may require it, and to the most favourable construction being put on all its proceedings. Tēnei au te tapu nei, māku. Mā te whare, I ana paenga katoa, I ngā hoki, ko te tikanga wete wete herenga I ranga kōrero tau tohi tohi, me te wāhi hoki ke tau hiranga. Ina wā I teka ana a kia matareka mai, ki ana mahi tōko katoa.
Mr. Speaker, I confirm all the rights and privileges of the House of Representatives which have ever been granted. I assure you that the House of Representatives shall always have ready access to me, and that I will at all times place the most favourable construction upon its proceedings. E te mana whakawā, tēnei au te whakakau nei I ngā tikanga me ngā paenga katoa a te whare māngai. Te whakaaetia roatia nei. Tēnei au ki tauranga ki a koe, ka whai mā wāhi tonu mai te whare māngai ai ki ahau. Ā, ka matareka atu au ki āna mahi I te ao, I te pō.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Tēnā koe I te hiranga.
Mr. Speaker, I present you with an authorisation for you to administer the oath or affirmation of allegiance to members of the House of Representatives. E te mana whakawā, tēnei au te tuku nei ki a koe, I te mana kia tohi ai koe I ngā mema o te whare māngai ki te oatia rānei, ki te whakapuakanga ngā kaupono rānei.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Tēnā koe I te hiranga.
Tēnā koe I te rangatira, tēnā koutou katoa. To you, Mr. Speaker, my very warmest congratulations, the Right Honourable Jerry Brownlee, on your election and confirmation as the new Speaker of the House of Representatives. I'm sure that this is a very proud day for you and your family, for your friends and your many supporters, to whom I extend my very warmest and sincere welcome. The office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives carries great constitutional and ceremonial importance. I'm confident that you will do well in upholding the spirit and the mana of the office, including, of course, supporting fair and robust debate across the floor. I note that not only do you hold the role of Speaker, but also of Father of the House, as the longest continuously serving Member of Parliament. I'm sure that the breadth of your experience as a parliamentarian and the relationships that you have built during your many years in Parliament will serve you well as Speaker. In undertaking your new responsibilities, I hope that you will carry the spirit of the whakatauki. He ha te kai a te rangatira, he kōrero, he kōrero, he kōrero. What is the food of the leader? It is knowledge, it is communication. My very warmest congratulations to you once again. I look forward to working with you over the course of my term as Governor-General. Ka hui hui mātou he mihi mahana kia koe, kia koutou katoa. Mr. Speaker, please allow me to congratulate you. Do you know me?
Yes.
Pai tērā. Haere mai, haere mai. Please, we'll have one lovely shot. Very nice, very good. Yes, oh yes, no, there is something else to do. Can I now invite you all to stand and sing the national anthem in Te Reo Māori and in English?